Love you, Joel.
All right. And let's get started. I knew you needed it. You just needed a little more. Hello and welcome to LedgerCast. My name's Brian Krogsgard. I am here, as always, with Josh Olsowich. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
It's going well. We are streaming live late on a Friday night. We're here with the people of YouTube. I think you're live streaming to TradingView as well. So if people ever want to join us, keep an eye on our Twitters. We will not guarantee a specific time for these because, well, you know, my schedule is a hot mess. You're available nicely all the time because you're just that kind of guy. You're you're amenable. You're amenable to a ridiculous schedule like mine. But we're here. It's 9:22 Central Time, 10:22 Eastern Time for you. And we got a couple beverages, and we're going to talk about crypto. We don't even know exactly what we're going to talk about, but there's a little bit of price action going on. A weekly breakout, you could say. We talked about the potential for it. I'm sitting here staring at a 20-week and 200-week chart of Bitcoin, and the break was clean above the 20-week, where I had my alert set on TrendSpider. I got the text, said, boom, it's through, it's done. And it felt good, Josh. It felt good. We were at resistance there. It was the place to hedge if you were going to hedge. But shoot, man, it went fast enough. What was that initial move? $500-600?
Yeah, 7.8 to 9.3. What are people hedging for? Hedging is over. Hedging was for March. Like,
Well, I mean, we were at the 200 day. We were at the 20 week. That was all in that 7 to 8K zone.
no, here, no,
No, you're into the notebook right now.
no more hedging.
Very manual.
No,
No hedging.
no more hedging. This is long city
Long
on
City.
every time frame
The
except weekly.
the macro argument is there. That's what we've talked about pretty much every week. But now we're seeing some price action follow through. Interestingly enough, we're also seeing it while the legacy market is, after a big start to the week, looking a little toppy right now, wouldn't you say?
I haven't really paid much attention to Legacy this week.
Well, I think it was up the first half of the week, but then flattened out. And then today, I think most of those legacy indexes were down about 3%. So to see Bitcoin up on the day and holding that, whatever, $1,000 up move is pretty impressive. Paul C in the chat says we're going to the 1Ks. I don't know if he means 1Ks or 10Ks. If he
I
means
mean,
if he means 1Ks, then that means the halvening did not go well.
the more people who think we're going to 1K, the better. So Paul C, much love,
Yeah, Paul, we
brother.
need a correct. We need a clarification. Did you miss a zero or not?
So I'm looking at S&P futures mini, and so not really a bear div on this on the 12 hour. It still looks good for me to me. Like it bounced between 50 and the 200 EMA. I don't know. I don't really see this as bearish for the ES.
The weekly candle on the S&P 500 is pretty dirty. Uh, Ended red on the week. Looks like a, I don't know, half-hearted shooting star type of thing. Um,
Yeah, I mean it can vacillate. It's hard when you get these back-to-back candlesticks that are bullish and bearish because we have this bullish tweezer bottom, even though it's not like a reversal spot. This will probably just consolidate over the next couple of weeks. That'd be my guess.
yeah, I mean that's my bet too that it'll probably find some buyers next week. I think maybe it put a dampening on people. I mean, I was starting to hear calls for all-time highs sooner than later in legacy markets, which would be really off from, you know, the economy. Maybe that doesn't matter, but it would be a little concerning to me if it went to all-time highs. Like that would actually be a sign that people really fear the dollar, which maybe they should. But um, yeah, the this is just VXX, but a representative of VIX. VIX spiked up a little bit. Volatility in the legacy market spiked up a little bit this week. And of course, in crypto land, the other thing that I found interesting about the move that we've had so far is that we had alts move down relative to Bitcoin on that primary impulse, on a Bitcoin relative basis at least, um, which I think is probably good for a strength signal for Bitcoin itself. And then we've seen alts start to catch up a little bit since then, which feels like a more natural bull market type of reaction, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I really like looking at dominance here. I like this W Adam and Eve situation building. We talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm pretty bullish on crypto in general, so I don't really care what happens. My big thing is just being in it. Honestly, like, so back to the ES real quick. On the daily, there's a massive bearish. What is that? Bearish engulfing. Abandoned, not abandoned baby, but these weird gappy candlesticks. But it's definitely bearish engulfing, I would say. Right? Maybe not. Maybe bearish engulfing is like this stick here, but it's not good. It's definitely bearish. Opening below the previous day's close, like. So yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm seeing all sorts of stuff. I'm seeing how high
Powell
S&P,
high?
no, how high S&P volatility is relative to BTC volatility. I'm
Oh, yeah.
seeing high BTC S&P correlation. I'm seeing decoupling on lower time frames. We talked about VIX. We beat that horse to death every episode. We
It's our
mention it,
favorite.
but VIX has started to creep up again from 30, from 29. So I mean, the rolling 30-day S&P correlation is falling off, but if you map it out like on top of each other, it's looks pretty close.
So, what do you think is what's your best guess here? Is the Bitcoin move starting or ending at this kind of level?
I mean, I'm a chaos maximalist, so I'd love to see all-time highs in S&P because then I think there'd be riots in the street. So, not that I want rioting or violence in any form.
Caveat.
I just think that's what it's going to take for some real change. So, yeah, bring it on. Bring on S&P highs. I think Bitcoin's going to do its own thing.
You think this correlation with legacy is closer to the end?
I think so. It certainly looks like that. Right? I mean, I don't know if you can see my screen right now, but
I cannot. That's okay.
yeah. So S&P is like flatter down relative to BTC. I don't know. I mean, like crypto needs to do its own thing if it is going to become a thing. So the more it decouples, the better in my mind.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It was concerning to me if Bitcoin was just going to follow legacy. On the Bitcoin move itself, it looks like we're flagging on medium time frames to me. 4 hour.
Yeah.
We're seeing some strength in this kind of range, which not a bad thing after a move like that. Doesn't look like we're just going to tank down. I mean, we could retest as low as like 7,800 and maintain the breakout level, but that would basically be a full retrace of the breakout. So I think getting another impulse up before we do like a stronger dip down would definitely be a sign of strength. But just in general, seeing this type of move into the halvening is very interesting.
That's what we needed. We like if we're sub 5K into having, it's just pack it up, failed experiment territory, really. But yeah, there's a flag. I'd love to see a bounce at 8-1. I'm a leverage long buyer at 8-1.
Leverage long at 8-1.
But I agree.
What's the level that you like there?
That's a 4-hour Kijun is there. But if we fib this out as far as is this a flag? What's the next level? 10-3? Is that really possible?
Possible.
I don't know, man.
I mean 10.3. That's really the breakdown from the we had the two perfect pennant in the fall of 2019,
Hmm.
and 10.2, 10.3 is really the apex of that pennant that we had. And there's been a lot go on since then, but you could also kind of argue it was just a bunch of rangy trash until we had that dump below 4K. I think your previous parallel to this being a lot like was it the Bitfinex hack? Uh,
Hmm.
has a lot of merit, um, because we just really don't seem, the market doesn't seem willing to have a significant retest of that dump down, and seems to be willing to consider it a black swan.
Yeah, I mean, like, we already dumped 70%. What's the logic for another move to 70% down? It's like there's not enough steam in the market to even bring us that low, you know?
Yeah, I think people were maybe not a lower low, but like something in the 5Ks, like something sub 6 would be the type of move that retest believers would be seeking.
I mean, we have a daily bullish Kumo twist. What else is there in life, Brian?
A 618 retrace would be 5800 from bottom to current top. Uh,
I don't even want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. 7.2 is a good level.
a 0.236 retrace would be the 200-day moving average, and 8070, so just over 8K.
Who uses
It's
0.236?
the first fib you get.
Here's the
In
only two things I'm concerned with.
in
Three
a
things.
in a strong market, I would use something as low as the 0.236, 0.382. But more importantly, that's where the 200-day moving average is. That's where the 20 is crossing up. That's the type of thing that I would find uh, exciting. So,
Here's my cheat sheet. Daily cloud, yearly pivot, 50% fib, 7.2. That's all I need to know. Everything else, you can just turn off everything. Really, those are your levels. Boom.
market's bullish.
Yeah.
Um,
Somebody was asking me on a live stream I did earlier this week about Adam and Eve possibility with us Adaming here, which isn't like crazy. I forget who asked me this. If you map this out as far as like, okay, we had triangles, then we had inverted head and shoulders, then we had rising wedge, we had this other inverted head and shoulders possibility that didn't happen. So what are we building to now? If you turn on volume, there's definitely, I mean, to get a volume high that we did in March 12th, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's definitely a case for an Adam and Eve to 4K again, or to 5K, whatever that is.
yeah, I mean,
So
I keep staring at this weekly chart because I really like just trying to pay attention to these higher time frames. And this is where Peter Brandt trolled you recently, which was well done. All
he
he
didn't
really
troll
said.
me. He says that to everybody who calls him a boomer. Also, let's correct the record here. I don't give a fuck about Peter Brandt. Let's be real, but he
Well,
a long time ago always gave people a hard time about using diagonal lines on a chart, like he's some TA god. Listen, guy, diagonal lines are fine. So when he starts using diagonal lines on a non-log chart, give me a break. Anyway, that's
well,
boomer
he
boomer
told
build for you.
he told people to seek the forest through the trees or whatever. And
He's just trying to sell his course. Whatever.
nevertheless, though,
Good for him.
it's hard to ignore this weekly pennant, which I'm currently redrawing, which is the beauty of these. Um, they're not perfect, but it is a basically forever consolidation that there's some merit to that, right? Surely.
Forever consolidation. What do you? Oh, you mean the massive triangle that everyone else is trying?
Yeah.
If you want a good yuck, if you want a few yucks, go to TradingView.
Is that
Go to
what
the
everyone on TradingView is doing?
crypto section. Go to the charts. there's some real doozies.
It
But
also looks completely absurd if you turn off log. Like, it's the dumbest looking triangle I've ever seen in linear.
yeah,
Which I like to give. I like to give it that smell test sometimes. That linear versus log.
terrible idea.
I think it's a good idea. I think it would have. I think it would have helped a lot of people in 2017 to realize that things were a little hot. After.
Okay, I disagree.
That's okay. You're loud.
Yeah, I know. So if this is anatomy, it's 11 to 12 is the target, but that's months away if that ever happens.
Uh,
But yeah, the weekly pennant, this massive thing.
yeah, that's what I just deleted it. It was bothering me. I just took it right off of my screen.
It's
Could
okay. Let the log chart show the way. This is the way.
I mean the log chart can still show the way, but also, you know, be a little ridiculous.
I just finished Mandalorian. This is the way. I mean, what's ridiculous is the line chart. Give me a break.
So we've got 7 weeks in a row of up. The 20-week we just passed through 81. I do think if we get a retest, like maybe we squeeze up higher first, but if we got a retest, I'd be that 8182 area. I'm with you as a buyer. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the type of place we've been talking about how, or at least I have not been margin long through any of this. I've just been spot long. If I could get the right type of dip or the right consolidation, now I'm in the point where, to me, this is very bullish, seeking some of these yearly high potential levels that we talked about. Was it a pivot extension that was the 15 or 16K? So trying to get long just above 8K would be the type of angle that I would seek personally. And I don't really see a reason for like just selling off to cash, trying to improve my price by like $600 or $700 when I think 9,500 or that 10.2 level is just as likely from here as 8.2. So for me, I'm looking to where can I gain an edge now that in my mind we've confirmed some of the post big dump consolidation levels.
Yeah. I don't use leverage unless I think I have an edge. So far, I haven't felt like I have an edge. We've sort of chopped up, you know.
So health check on Joe 007. I think he was still short.
Oh, good. I hope so. We need people. We need many people like Paul and Joe and any other biblical name you can think of. Joe's a biblical
Paul
name, right?
who?
Paul C. He wants 1K. Come on, we just
Oh,
talked.
Paul in the chat. I've already forgotten. I've banned him from my life. Bitfinex leader board.
He's living rent free in my head right
now. Unrealized losses. Joe 007, 3,500,000. I saw it at 15 million.
Yeah, you got to change the metric. It adjusts a little bit. Yeah, so the 20 SMA is also at 8K.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The pennant maximalists are screaming about resistance around this level.
Pennant maximalists.
It pierced on the line chart anyway.
Joe's unrealized 11.4 million total currently.
Somebody was asking me about drawing trend lines. It's better to just use the candle bodies, ignore wicks, and pick 2 points, and that's it. It's not about curve fitting. It's not about where you think stuff should go.
Well, Joe made $20 million in March, so I'm not going to sweat his current unrealized profits. But he is short. I just like to know where Joe is, you know? I feel like it's important. The percentage total long on Bitfinex is like 80%. So Joe might be the only person on Bitfinex that's short. What else are
Yeah,
you thinking about? What's been going on in crypto the past week, Josh?
Monero just hit an all-time high in transactions. That's pretty big.
Oh, let's talk about Monero.
Transactions per day. ETH is slowly crumbling from its own weight, specifically
Um,
from Tether transactions.
oh, you mean fundamentally crumbling?
Yeah,
Monero looks. It really gave up its levels on a weekly basis. I mean, it's still technically making a higher low on the weekly, but it needs to save the current weekly, in my view, around 7,500 sats or whatever that is. I might be missing a zero there.
so it's made 3 higher lows over the past 8 months. XMR BTC.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking at.
I'd love it to make another one. Just keep making higher lows.
Yeah, basically it needs to preserve the current level, or I'd be a little concerned.
It
It's under the 200-day. I mean, it's making a higher low, but it still looks like it's kind of stuck in a range here after it showed some promise, but it had a tight consolidation range and gave back over a month's worth of upwards movement in like 2 days. So it got hit pretty hard with this Bitcoin up move.
if this is a head and shoulders here for XMR BTC, could get pretty ugly.
I don't think very many of these altcoin relative to BTC pairs look great at the moment. Like they look like they may have some potential recovery in them, but they all got hit pretty hard. Like Link is down, tapped its 50-day moving average. Looks like it's completing it's got this big M-shaped gigantic double top look.
Yeah, it did last time too, but that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it did matter because that's I tweeted out poetry. Sometimes I do so, and it that was March 11th, maybe March 10th.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this with Link though. Like it's kind of in no man's land right now. Like if I was holding it, I'm not sure I'd want to be getting rid of it here because, it's in no man's land. But yeah,
March 10th. I just checked. I'm still.
as Crypto at Night says, they all look a little beat down. Altcoin relative to Bitcoin pairs. Like they didn't keep up with this move. Even my ZRX, I was underwater for like a day because I didn't pay attention to it when Bitcoin went up. So I'm back to break even on ZRX after I had a nice move there up to the 200-day. You wrote about ZRX. What was your conclusion? Were you bullish, bearish, neutral? Didn't care?
I did. So they implemented version 3 in December, November, and they implemented a staking mechanism where you get your reward in ETH. Something like 4% of the network is being staked right now, which is next to nothing. And there's issues with like payouts. And basically, the relayers act as the market makers collect fees via relayers or APIs, and then it kind of trickles down to the staking people.
So the relayers are in control.
The relayers and market makers are in control.
But if only 4% is being staked, does that mean the relayers themselves aren't staking either?
The relayers don't really need to own ZRX. They really only need to own it if there's a governance dispute.
Yeah, I remember that being a part of the justification for ZRX not being a particularly good investment. At another point was that they made their product really simple to use without their token, which is what you want as a user. But it's not so great for talking about the benefits of the token economy. Man, I haven't said that phrase in a long time.
Bottom things.
It's bottom things that I haven't said token economy in a long time.
The relayers volume and trades are way up over the past 3 months, so that's good.
So people are using.
People are using DEXs, definitely.
Well,
I just don't. I don't see it being bullish until it's above 35 cents.
35 cents.
The BTC bear.
Yeah, so it's at 22 cents right now. I could not have told you what the price of ZRX was in cents, even though I've had some. Man, what a weekly that USD chart is on Coinbase. It's like, remember you were talking about those big, weird, broadening wedges?
Mm-hmm.
It's got that kind of vibe going on.
But ZRX BTC really doesn't look interesting to me.
I know you told me that. You told me that last time, and then it went up like 12% the next day, and then faded it back.
Exactly. Thank you.
It's. I don't know. I just. You know, the last time I significantly held ZRX was right before it had two major swing moves up, and it has these swings that I like, and we're kind of towards the bottom side of that swing channel, so I'm in. It's not very complicated, my thought process.
I don't buy dirtling, and ZRX is dirtling like none other.
Well, what about your old precious Doge? Isn't Doge dirtling?
No, dude, it's consolidating. It's sleeping.
What is this? Please tell me the difference between dirtling and consolidating.
Dirtling is floating near all-time lows with highs being rejected.
Are you looking at Doge right now? Because I'm looking at Doge going back to 2014, and it's one of the longest tenures of dirtling that I've ever seen.
Do you think you're really gonna outchart me on Doge, dude? Come on. Come on.
I'm just saying. It's I mean, what am I looking at here? It's done nothing. It'd be a good time to be a Doge market maker. Get your 4-sat top and bottom channels.
Look, Doge will outperform ZRX hands down.
Wow. Well, it is the 200-week moving average is like a flat line at 44 sats. I mean, it's got to tap that at some point, right?
What is there not to like about this chart? I'm confused. Weekly B-bands are tighter than they've ever been.
That's true. I don't even have to turn the B-bands on to know that that's true.
There you go.
It's done. I mean, this thing has done nothing since June 2019. It was 27 sats June 24th, 2019.
Great stablecoin.
It is a stablecoin. I mean, you could throw your Bitcoin in there, and Doge will have buyers in the low 20s. You would think it has, like the market has either been in an extreme state of Bitcoin relative euphoria or depression for Doge to get below 20 sats, and it doesn't stay there. So
low 20s. Why would it go there? Look, Doge is perfectly priced. It has unlimited upside. Just think of it like that.
If it's perfectly priced, it has no upside by definition, right?
Well, this is an inefficient market, so yeah. it's going to 100 sats, easy.
Wow, you heard it here first.
Easy.
We need to put an alert on 100 sats for Doge.
This isn't one of those 33K calls either. This is a real call.
A real life call.
I'm in an active Doge trade right now.
You are. Well, really, you're just in Bitcoin because it's a stable coin, right?
Well, I own like 500,000 Doge or something.
Wow.
Whatever that is in BTC. Oh yeah, we talked about this. So last week we talked about like trading size. I decided to buy 0.25 BTC of Doge and 0.25 BTC of Stellar.
Yeah, how's Stellar doing? How did it fare and all that? I looked at it because you kept talking so glowingly about it, but I didn't end up doing anything, which is my normal state these days. It's flat on the week around 800 sats.
I'm not going to use the word dirtle, but it's.
I would say it's dirtling. It looks like it's, well, maybe a temporary dirtle after an impulse. It's either at the top end of this range or it's about to break out.
If So it's going up or down? Is that what you're saying?
That's been my theme in this podcast recently. You know, the price is going to go up or down.
If it can consolidate around 850, I'll be happy.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see an ascending triangle that has a ceiling around 880 sats, taking you into June.
To see it whipsaw like that um, doesn't make me bullish, but it's an altcoin and it's polo and it's illiquid, so
Well, and Bitcoin just moved 20%.
like the candlesticks on that are gross.
I don't know. When I'm on the daily chart, it looks pretty nice to me.
We're just different people, you and I.
That's true. That's true.
I just had someone message me saying that they're going long on my Doge call. I want the record to show that this is not trading advice. I am simply sharing with you what I do.
Matt James says, wait for BTC to go up first before betting on alt ratios going up. So he's saying we're not getting significant altcoin moves until Bitcoin goes up. I don't know if he means goes up into like 12K and above, 20K all-time high tests, or if Bitcoin needs to break all-time highs and create euphoric upside that people then start to leverage into altcoins. That's what a lot of people argue. Got to break 20K first. I mean, there's always trades in alts. That's one thing. The question is, if you're looking to make macro moves, hold for a year type stuff, is that a better move when Bitcoin is not yet at an all-time high, or do you wait for all-time high exploration? What are your opinions on this? This concept, this thought that a lot of people have, just don't bother with alts until Bitcoin makes highs again.
So anytime I try to trade charts in aggregate, it always just doesn't make sense. For me, over the past year plus, it's just been better to trade charts individually. So if Stellar BTC looks good, I'm going to go long. If Doge BTC looks good, I'm going to go long. ETH USD looked like a rising wedge. I think we may have talked about this, or I talked about this earlier this week, and it broke up. Whereas BTC didn't look like a rising wedge, so I don't know. Like, I think being short ETH this week and getting stopped out was a better trade than trying to long both together just because like you thought BTC was going to go up. I wasn't short or long ETH this week, but
I can't imagine
just an
being
example.
I can't imagine being long ETH USD based on this chart. I mean, since
Bro,
since March 12th, I could imagine being long from like April 8th or 9th, that first impulse back to the 200-day after consolidation. And then maybe long from like 172 to 200, which is around when I hold it. I
yeah,
mean,
like what are we talking here? Like 5x or less leverage, or are we talking spot? Like,
I just, in general, like, the chart looks ridiculous. Granted, it looks very similar to Bitcoin's chart, but I have confidence in Bitcoin. Ethereum looks bullish. I'm not saying it doesn't look bullish. I'm saying it doesn't look like a margin long. Like, nor does it even really look like something I want to hold at all. Like when I look at the Bitcoin pair.
so it's good for a LARP, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, I'm holding ETH because I think it's going to 750 within a year and a half. That's really why I'm holding ETH.
750. So you think it's basically going to retest the lower high that it made after it did the 1500 run, 1400 run?
This is just based off weekly cloud stuff, not really anything else. We talked about this probably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just a 50% fib from high to low in 2018. That's really all it is.
Ah, yeah, it's the top of the weekly cloud. We just tapped the Keyshin.
We did.
So doesn't that tell you to sell until we get above the Keyshin and into the cloud? Like, why risk it here when you can wait to get into the cloud first?
Yeah, I mean, There's more than one ways to skin an ETH.
Skin of a talent.
What do I care? Like, I got in around 130 at the beginning of the year. So, let it go to zero, right? Like, my upside is 7x almost.
The ETH BTC pair also dumped off the Kijun, and the Tinkin is at a 2272-ish. But that's another one that looks like, to me, the trade is when it gets on top side of the Kijun and into the cloud. I mean, this doubled cloud on a weekly basis is freaking gigantic. I want to see what singled looks like. Ooh. Singled is telling you buy that dip to 2272, bottom of the cloud and Kijun on the singled weekly, with a topside test of equal high 0.028. I don't even know what size. I mean, that's not that big of a move, is it?
You're talking ETH BTC.
Mm-hmm. It's 25% upside if you play just the single weekly cloud from bottom to top. It's nothing to
single
be upset
weekly
about.
cloud. You're using all these random indicators that no one's ever heard of.
Well, sometimes I like to use singled cloud on larger time frames, especially for entrance. Especially
Don't
for
you
entries.
use my own logic against me? I'm even. All right, let's take a look. 20, 10, 30, 60.
Oh my God. While you do that, I'm just going to talk about the fact that Litecoin is making a lower low.
Dude, EOS BTC looks dead. It looks dead.
I haven't checked EOS, but Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin's hanging on a cliff here.
If you haven't panic sold EOS yet, that's the time.
I would not. I haven't looked at Litecoin in a long time. It looks like nobody cares about holding Litecoin because it's given up the shark here on the weekly. This is the type where if you're looking for, hey, how can I hedge my crypto portfolio a little bit? Well, if everything dumps, alts will dump. And if Bitcoin pumps, the crappy alts will dump relative to Bitcoin. So I think shorting this Litecoin to Bitcoin pair would actually be a really nice hedge because it's probably going down no matter what. But if it goes down when the whole market goes down, it's going to go down a lot.
You know who tried to short LTC and got ripped to shreds?
When?
Kyle Salami. There was a fund that I forget what is it, multi-bag capital. Oh wow, yeah, ETH or LTC. Ooh.
I mean, I just have my cursor over 54.90, where it broke that low. If this gets a weekly close there, if it saves the weekly, it can flip it and just continue being in a range. But if it closes below that, I gotta find where can I short LTC BTC? Is that on Kraken?
Yeah.
Leverage short on the Bitcoin pair?
Yeah.
I'll probably get scam wicked.
Man, there's no look out below on ETH or LTC BTC.
I mean, that's pure death, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I'm just trying to look at anything. What's the yearly pivot? There's no yearly pivot support. It's at
negative prices. My God,
1.
EOS, you are right. Holy crap! It's the place to get long-ish.
Sorry.
Oh no! It could wick and.
Dude, you tell me.
But today's Friday, and the weekly close is about a day and a half away. So, yeah, this EOS, shoot, man. Short EOS BTC, short LTC BTC.
Do you short everything at the bottom, or what? What is your MO?
Short what?
I feel like you like shorting everything at the bottom.
I like shorting everything if they close on Sunday as a lower low. Yeah. This is price exploration to the bottom territory.
Yeah, BCH is the same, but I'm not. I'm not gonna short. It's like Zeke. Zeke had years of death. LTC's got a bull div on this, by the way, unconfirmed, arguably, but EOS BTC looks like a head and shoulders to me.
I mean, I wouldn't call Ethereum like the epitome of strong altcoins, but relative to these, it looks like super godly, you know?
Well, what's the narrative for alts right now? They don't have a halving coming. They don't have historically low inflation coming. They have staking.
They have staking.
They have no store value potential. You know, like other than Doge, let's be real.
Other than Doge. Hence your your Bitcoin dominance chart
Double bottom, yeah.
on the daily, right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you throw that on the weekly, I don't know if you're looking at my screen.
Mm.
The 20 week, the 50 week, and the 200 week are all right next to each other, and it is about to bust through 2 out of the 3. The 20 week is the only one holding it back. This
You're just curve fitting EMAs at this point.
no, that's all I do. I was like, no, I'm not. Wait, yes, I am. That's literally what I do. That's how I trade. I curve fit EMAs and I create a bias, and then I stop out if it doesn't do what I ask. Isn't that just trading?
No, it's not. Not mine. It's not my trading.
Okay.
Imagine if you were like realistically bullish on BSV or BCH.
I'm not saying I'm bullish on them.
No, I know, but could you
No,
imagine?
I'm saying no. I cannot imagine Bitcoin Cash. One thing I'm happy of is that Roger Ver lost. Like, I don't really wish ill upon people, but I'm glad he lost.
It, yeah, hate to see it, right?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't hate to see it at all. That's fine. Yeah, this dominance chart. I mean, for 3 or 4 weeks, dominance was falling off, and it looked like it wanted to make a new low, and now it just this one Chad candle upwards changed the whole narrative on it for me. Like, and this is a hard mental thing to break through. Like, I do this too sometimes. You're like, oh, well, I have this narrative. I want to seek potential action in altcoins, and then you say, oh crap, well, Bitcoin just tanked everything by like 5 or 10%. But it's hard sometimes to stop out there. You're like, oh, I'm gonna wait for a little recovery and then I'll get out. Sometimes you just got to cut it loose, you know. Like, if you're bullish Bitcoin, but you're not, like, if altcoins aren't telling you the same story they were even just a day or a week ago, sometimes just cutting the string and letting it be. Take your little L, carry on, versus becoming a bag holder and all of a sudden you're 20, 30, 40% down instead of 5 or 10% down from where you thought you'd be.
I think it depends on your trading style, you know?
Well, my trading style says to...
My trading style is making money. I don't know about you.
That's the goal. But my system, if I'm talking here, is telling me to be cautious currently. Like, I talked about BNB. I have BNB. I like BNB. We are also right at where my stop is on BNB. So it's like, I could have still liked this chart. I'm looking at the weekly. The daily is no longer supporting my view. The 200 day is where I should have stopped out. But I may not get that retest of the 200 day to get out.
I still like that diamond bottom potential on BNB BTC. I know we talked about that.
Yeah, I do too. It's just, it's telling me to be cautious here. And certainly if we get below, I mean, let's see, what's that percentage dip? There's another 8% to 18K sats.
But they released their amazing options platform.
I mean, fundamentals aside, I'm just looking at price. If it closes below 18 sats on a weekly with another 8% down, then it could have a whole new down leg, like a huge impulse, since it's had 3 bottoms in this range. Making a new low after triple bottom thingy would be pretty devastating for a potential move further. And this is the type where I could totally picture that happening if Ethereum has a strong impulse in the upwards direction. Not Ethereum. If Bitcoin has a strong impulse in the upwards direction, but BNB and some other alts lag, then these BTC pairs could look terrible, and all the maximalists would pull their "I told you so" rounds. Can't you just imagine this happening? I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I hold the BTC amount I hold, and that's why I hold the alts I hold, because I let the alts go to zero, whatever,
Faboose says the alt reckoning incoming? Question mark. His was not a statement. It sounds good as a statement. The argument is not as strong. Like, if Bitcoin kept slowly going up, then sure. But seeing an impulse move like that in Bitcoin, 15% in a day, and then alts severely lagging that, I think is going to really cut a lot of confidence in people's ability to get into those or stay in those. It's doing it to me right now. Looking at it right now, and I'm like, don't know.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't be excited about holding BNB.
I'm holding BNB right now. Should I sell? Should I sell while we're on the air?
I don't want to go that far. But Monero, like we just talked about, Monero looks nearly identical to BNB.
Yeah. You feel like an idiot though if you sell these and you sold the bottom. That's like what that's always the thing.
Of course, you should feel like an idiot. If you don't feel like an idiot when you sell the bottom, then you're in the wrong business, right? Then you're not learning.
Yeah.
Just like you're just LARP capital.
My man. Actual LARP capital or relative?
Just in general.
Okay. Crypto Messiah rebranded as LARP Capital for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Trying to think what.
But he's not LARPing. Don't worry. I know him in person.
I've seen his garage. I know him.
He's got something. He's got a nice vehicle in his garage. I think he talks about that on Twitter. So I don't need to speak for his lifestyle.
Tron. I haven't looked at Tron in a while. Let's take a look at Tron. Yeah, so back to the BTC.
We're just rolling through the charts today.
The ETH network is in trouble. I will continue to say this. ETH is really giving it scaling trouble.
Isn't that kind of a good thing?
If you want to be Omni 2.0, it's great. If you want to be the world computer, maybe not. I don't know. That's not my narrative to decide, right? But Tron doesn't look great either. Tron's sitting at all-time lows, basically.
Yeah, Tron looks like garbage.
I saw ETH, Coinbase. There was something with transactions on Coinbase today for ETH. The network was degraded or something.
If Tether kills Ethereum, that would be funny.
It's not if, but when.
Is there what's the tally? Is there a website? I just need tethertally.com. Has anybody got that?
Yeah, it's called tether.co, whatever it is, transparency.
I'm just blindly going to that, so hope you had it right. You did not. Tether is a creative agency.
Sorry, to.to. Tether.to.
Tether 2.
I'll pull it up.
Checking your browser. They think I'm spamming. Digital money for a digital age.
Then you go to resources, then you go to transparency. USDT on ETH, 5.6.
Total assets, 7.9 billion tethers.
You're saying it like you're from the South.
What, billion?
No, tethers.
Tethers? Tethers? Can you say that? Am I saying that in a southern way?
Yeah,
Tethers?
got them there.
How do I say it in a non-southern way? What's the non-southern tether?
I don't know. I'm a coastal maximalist,
Tether.
coastal elite. Um, but most of the tether is on ETH, and it'll all move to ETH, and then it'll move to the next chain. It'll be a parasite.
God, I didn't realize how many chains Tether was in. There's 16.5 million on Liquid and 1 million on Algorand. 5.62 billion on ETH, and there's still 1.335 billion on Omni, which I did not know.
Yeah, it's probably gonna go.
1.14 billion on Tron. That's a little bit of a surprise. That's a lot. Is that because of Poloniex?
Yeah, but look how much is authorized but not issued. 73.7 million. So most of it. Authorized but not issued means it's not out of the treasury. It's just on the chain.
Okay.
The funny thing about the ETH Omni thing is that if ETH starts to crap itself, it's going to shift back to Omni, because that's the chain that people know. It probably won't shift to Tron. So it's just funny.
Did Tether scale better on Omni than Ethereum? Or was Omni also garbage when Tether was in heavy use last time?
Tether's never been, the circulating supply has never been this high, and
It's never had this many transactions.
Correct, yeah. So
because now Tether is used. Tether is probably one of the most popular trading pairs, right?
Yeah, if you go on any of the dexes, it's all stable coins as far as the most popular.
Whereas before it was just, the big wigs tossing around their tethers between exchanges and stuff, mostly, more than most people were trading altcoins on BTC pairs.
I mean, the whales manipulating price, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Omni was never tested the way that Ethereum is being tested with it.
No, definitely not. If we look at Tether versus, I don't know if you can see my screen. You said you can, but if you look at ETH Tether versus Omni Tether.
If you share your screen, I can put it on the stream.
Oh, how do I do that?
Just share your screen within our chat, and then I'll try not to break it.
Share my screen. Here we go. Guess which one's ETH? Guess which one's Omni?
Well, I'm failing to try.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
You can see it, but
they can see it really tiny. It's in the bottom right of the stream. I'm massively struggling to try to actually cut it to it. Here. Did that work? It did not work. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Sorry. I don't know how to switch screens. I'm an idiot.
All right. Well.
But, hey, when you drag over it, I can see it.
Imagine it in your mind.
I can see it in the corner when you drag. You're in the picture-in-picture. You're like the tiny screen next to the screen.
Can't you go toggle your view?
It won't let me.
Okay.
It's the streaming thing I'm using.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's almost 20x Omni as far as transactions.
Wow. So this got to be DEXs that are hurting it. So DEXs and DeFi are crippling Ethereum, and that's its only use case.
That's not true. Everything is crippling Ethereum.
anything that is popular ever, it cripples Ethereum.
It's true. DEXs, DeFi, scams, including Tether, which isn't necessarily a scam. But people just sending it between exchanges, people sending it to OTC, like this is all people paying people, I don't know. Like arguably the rise in ETH Tether in 2019 was plus token Ponzi stuff. This rise currently looks much more organic because week over week, slow.
Yeah.
Doesn't look spammy. It looks legitimate.
Well, that's how it
So
goes.
if you go to ETH gas station, that's another good one. You'll see what I mean by
ETHgasstation.com.
yeah, info. I know.
You have sent me. I do not normally go blindly to websites. Don't fish me.
These are the sites I go to when I see Ethereum is breaking down. I go to ETH gas station because it says who's using the network code basically.
So Tether USD is, I don't know, 8 times more than the next spender.
So the next one I'm pretty sure is PAX, or it's a DEX that uses PAX.
Okay.
If you dig into it, it's PAX.
I'm sure Million Money 2.0 is highly legitimate.
Exactly. That's when I say scam, I'm serious. Million Money 2.0 scam. Kyber is DeFi. Smartwave Forsage. I'm gonna assume it's a scam because I don't know what it is.
And then Dexes.
Dex.
Easy Club. Scam.
Gonna assume that's a scam.
Chainlink.
Also scam. Double ways scam reported. So yeah, you just go down this list and it's like, it's either stablecoins, dexes, or scams. That's really it.
Well, congratulations, Ethereum. So Ethereum 2.0 is important then, I guess.
So wait, there's more though. There's more. We can go to, what is it, etherscan.info? No, .io. Why do all these have to be different?
Etherscan.io.
Go to Etherscan, go to charts in the top right. Go to pending transactions. There it is. Pending is falling to currently peaked at around 100K plus earlier today. Sorry, that was April 30th. Yesterday.
So what's normal for this? This is
normal
ranging.
Certainly less than 100K. It's typically between like 30 and 60.
So and then I've got more than 2 times the pending transactions of normal.
Yes. And then you can look at daily gas used. It's kind of like the block size-ish for ETH. It's another chart on Etherscan. You can see that's topping out. So they increased the block or the gas limit a while ago. Maybe it's the gas limit chart. Yeah, that's another one. Anyway, so there's like you can tease this stuff apart and see how much in trouble ETH is right now.
And yet, really, all this usage is still peanuts. Like this isn't real blockchain usage. This is just.
What do you mean?
This is just toying around. Like there's not.
It's the killer app, bro. Speculation is the killer app.
I know, but it's not real. Like when people talk about the promise of blockchain, they're not thinking like CryptoKitties and stablecoins should kill it. So like if it can't handle this now, then ETH 2.0 has to hurry, and it has to be many multitudes better. It can't be an incremental improvement. That's not going to do enough. Can you toggle back to our video? People want to see your face before we head out.
Oh, sorry.
I've got that chart up.
Oh, look at that. I did the picture thing.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, ETH's in all sorts of trouble. They're making all these promises. They're making all these changes. All their developers are sick with COVID over the past couple months. Like, it's just not, looking back on this retrospectively, their developers may have been the first people to move COVID transcontinental, like from Denver to London, because they had a conference like in March in Denver and in London. I don't know the exact dates, but yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So yeah, they have ETH 2.0 coming, probably POW, all this other stuff that's potentially coming. I don't know. There's probably going to be another gas limit increase. That'd be my guess, because they're quickly hitting the scaling wall, especially if crypto takes off over the next couple months.
They're going to be in trouble.
They're going to be in trouble. Yeah. Yeah. So that's ETH. I mean, it's a good problem if you, the last thing you want to do is die in the dark if you're a blockchain, right?
Yeah,
You,
I
you
mean,
don't you don't want to be omni. You don't want to be pure coin where nobody cares about you, nobody uses you, nobody knows what you are. I mean,
yeah. So being used even poorly is better than not being used, but
exactly.
they've got to get it together. They've got to scale better.
Yeah, and they know that. Everybody who uses Ethereum knows that. I just don't think they have a clear plan as far as the path forward.
Yeah. Well, I think that should be where we end it.
Has it been an hour, man? It feels like it just flew by.
It flew by to me too. But I appreciate those of you who joined us. We're learning to do this. We'll get better at it. And Josh, what are you working on right now?
Man, every time. I
Same
got
question. It's the same question every week.
yeah, you blindsided me. I don't know. I'm not going to pull up my desktop. I have a very embarrassing background.
Well, it's your desktop is not going to show.
No, I will on my stream.
Oh, that's right.
It's
The
not
trading view stream.
It's not just about you, Brian.
That's right. That's right. You got this trading view stream going. But people should keep on to your Twitter, check out your articles that you have coming up on Brave New Coin. Go to letterstatus.com to check out this episode and more. And thanks for everybody joining us online on a live Friday night. And for those of you who participated in the chat, I appreciate it. We'll continue to work on this, improve the setup, and go from there. But go if you like the show, let us know. Tell us on some social media platform, and better yet, rate us on iTunes and crap. We appreciate that very much. We will catch everybody next time.
Monuments crumble in the blink of an eye. The easy river has just run dry. In a house of cards, I feel the breeze wound so tight I can barely breathe.